What are the most positive things happening in the world right now that people don't think of? For the first time in decades there have been Iberian lynx sightings in the region of Madrid. 2 sightings in the last week. Huge news as this species is among the most endangered animals in the world. It's so easy to repopulate the earth of rare plants now through tissue culture. 2 years ago Brazil was freaking out trying to keep their last remaining Spiritus sancti plants to themselves, and today, anyone can have them in their house and there is no market for poachers. A few global public health things. We have made tremendous progress on ending the AIDS epidemic in the last 40 years. The percentage of adults that smoke cigarettes is lower than it has been historically. We went from like 800,000 cases of guinea worm in the world in the late 80s to 12 in 2022. Pandas are no longer an endangered species. In spite of their own best efforts. More people than ever before have access to clean drinking water and basic sanitation, which is saving thousands of lives. A malaria vaccine has been developed and is currently undergoing human trials. This could save hundreds of thousands of lives a year, many of them children. The U.S. has more trees now than it did 100 years ago. More young women and girls in less developed countries are in primary and secondary education than ever before. More people worldwide are vaccinated than ever before, and a number of malaria vaccines are currently showing pretty positive results since 1990. The number of people living in extreme poverty has more than halved from 2 billion to around 700 million. The rate of infant mortality is consistently declining year on year. Lots still wrong with the world. Lots of things that have gotten worse. But these are significant improvements that shouldn't be understated. Constant and unrelenting negativity breeds passiveness. Knowing what we've done well helps us to understand what we're capable of and allows us to tackle the problems in a more pragmatic and effective manner. My foster daughter told me she loved me. Teen pregnancy is way down link. It drops off significantly once they reach 20 yo. I don't have the genetic cancer gene that killed half my family, including my dad. It's life-changing for me. Smiley face. Edit. Whoa, this blew up. Thank you for all the kind messages and the awards. It were some stressful years, with getting checked every 6 months. Especially the last half year was intense. So you guys are making me cry of happiness. Heart. Crocodiles like pink flowers, and I think we should talk apt that more. I got a raise a few weeks back. Edit. Kinda shocked this gained traction, but all the love is much appreciated. The orcas are doing great work. People are becoming more trauma-informed, facing their wounds, and making sure the next generation's burden will be at least a little lighter. HIV plus VE may soon have a cure, and it turns negative. Case of negative being positive news. This guy honked at me for not going on green light fast enough. Then caught up to me at the next light, rolled down his window and apologized for having a bad day, and then drove off and waved. Also, interest in sustainable housing is growing all the time. Things like earthships and rammed earth houses are gaining ground slowly. There is a company that has redesigned the process of nuclear fission to make a more stable, clean renewable energy source whose byproduct produces helium and no radioactive isotopes. Basically made a nuclear reactor that doesn't produce radioactive waste and simultaneously has the ability to replenish the global helium supply that was otherwise impossible. Edit. I mistakenly said fission when actually I meant fusion. Sorry about that. Still a profound development link. We have more knowledge and connectivity at our fingertips than ever before. Our ancestors may have only had a 5th grade education, but we can Google lecture videos of nuclear physics. Honeybees are at an all-time high, and are now considered overpopulated. The whole, save the bees, was never made for honeybees, but instead other species such as the mining bees. My lazy ass decided I should finally go in for a physical, and it turns out they found a thoracic aortic aneurysm that could have killed me instantly. Having open heart surgery in the next few days to fix it. After being diagnosed with breast and colon cancer last fall, my mom is, as of today, officially cancer-free. I've escaped generational poverty. Smiley face. Edit. Thank you kind stranger for the award, and thank you kind strangers for your responses. It's been a rough journey as a young 20-year-old. I think ozone layer is slowly healing itself, as well as my depression. We are getting closer with the prototype fusion reactor. More interest is shown in space travel. I got an interview tomorrow. Simple acts of kindness from normal people. There are many random people who do good and simple acts all the time. Things that make you laugh, smile, and believe in this world as a suitable place for the next generations. The other day I saw a humble gentleman pick up a child who slipped and was crying. He comforted him, cleaned his jacket, and continued on his way. This never appears in the news, but it is important to know that they do happen. California's Lake Oroville is now back at being 100% full after being dangerously low from years of drought. Cancer is getting easier and easier to treat and less lethal. Age-reversing technology might be around the corner, likely only available for the ultra-rich unless society does something. Child mortality is way down. People are voluntarily limiting their fertility by using birth control, so there is no population bomb to speak of. Extreme poverty is much lower than it has been in previous decades. My very old cat got her bloodwork done today and everything seems to be great. The Sims 4 is finally releasing an expansion pack with horses. Using 3D printing and other newer tech to build schools and other important facilities in Africa and other places alike.